Hi guys, my name is Madison Weber. I am a registered nurse. I work inpatient high-risk obstetrics, which is essentially high-risk labor and delivery. I have always done that. I currently work at Hartford Hospital, but prior to that I worked at Strong. I graduated from Fisher in May 2023, so some of you may, I guess, see me as a familiar face, especially if you went to the last two Volvo nights. But it's kind of crazy because some of the people that know me are like phasing out. And I started Fisher Feminist when I was in school. So I'm really bummed that I'm missing it. This is the first one that I'm missing. Unfortunately, I live in Connecticut now, so the scheduling was way more difficult this year. But yeah, I started it. I will say Volvo Night was so my baby. It was probably my favorite event that we had. And it makes me so happy that they're still having it, and it kind of has transitioned into this amazing thing that's almost like a bit of a tradition. And I hope it stays a tradition. And I'm so grateful that you're all here, because you being here is kind of what's going to turn it into that tradition and that normalization at Fisher. First off, I wanted to say that I have a resource slide in the back of my PowerPoint. I always encourage you to ask for resources, especially when someone's giving you any sort of information, but especially information pertaining to your health. I will say the majority of my sources were like the World Health Organization, as well as Monroe County Department of Health. Because not only do you want sources, but you want good sources. But yeah, I wanted to say that I'm bummed that I'm missing it, but I'm so glad you're all here. Kind of being involved with things like this is what's really going to kind of continue to make this change. So be there, have fun, learn a ton, and kind of just be open to whatever your undergrad is going to give you. I started Volvo Night because I was a nursing student, and I was like, I took sex ed in high school. I really learned nothing about myself from that. And then I went to this really good nursing school, and I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna learn so much about women's health. And plot twist, I really didn't. I learned about like obstetrics, but I didn't really learn as like a young 20-year-old woman. Like I was like, I don't really know like anything. And then my patients are asking me, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell them. And I realized that it's kind of this systemic thing, I felt like, where we really just don't know. I think throughout nursing school, I heard the word clitoris like once, if I'm being like generous, like it was like not like adequate for like, we spent 2 weeks learning about Viagra, and I was like, what the heck is going on? So I kind of wanted to make a change. We started Fisher Feminist actually when Roe v. Wade was overturned. Me and my friend Hannah Beamish were like, how do we kind of do something to kind of turn what we felt like was this dark moment for women's history into a more positive one? We were going to all the protests, but we were like, what can we actually do, right? So I will tell you that the first semester of Fisher Feminist, we were not approved by the school. I was like renting out a classroom under my name and just like having this like underground like club meeting basically with no budget. We just like went and talked. But it was really hard to get people to join. We got like maybe 1 or 2 people. And we met in the tippity top floor of Kearney, like Kearney 300, I think. And I remember just getting in my car every week and being like, why is this so hard? And I tell you that to kind of be like, look at what this has evolved into. I remember being nervous. We didn't even have enough people to like fill our e-board spots. So then when we were able to get a budget and even expand our e-board after that into the first year, and now like as I'm peering from like on Instagram, I'm like, oh my gosh, they're doing such good things. But I tell you that because I want to encourage all of you to do the hard thing. And for some of you that may be women's health, for some of you that may be something totally different. But putting in work, it's hard, especially when you feel like it's maybe not paying off. And I think that's a really common thread with where we are in the world right now. It's like I'm trying in and out every day, and every day I feel like either nothing's happening or maybe I'm even taking 3 steps backwards. But in these kind of moments of darkness or kind of adversity, we can always say, but what can I do? It may not be on the same scale as that we might want, but you know, it snowballs. And if you can do one thing today or tomorrow, you don't know what that's gonna do. And I learned, especially through Fisher Feminist, that doing the hard thing is more worth it than you realize, especially at the time, as you kind of are able to create this impact that lasts, right? I'm not at Fisher. I doubt many of you recognize me, maybe not. But yeah, I hope you have a really good time tonight. Listen to your narrators. This was always a really hard event to kind of like MC, because there was always, you know, people got really into it, and I loved that. But follow the rules, be respectful, and just kind of go into it with an open mind. You're there to have fun. You're there to learn. You're in your undergrad. There's probably cool prizes, probably snacks. And yeah, I hope you all have a great night.